Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today we are going to be headed back with our level 1 party, and I am just going to warn you right now that, PAX is now well in the rear view mirror, and we can sort of look forward now to the Those From Below content update, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you right now, there's going to be discussion of that stuff. I couldn't resist. I had to check the spoilers, so just consider yourself forewarned. I am going to be spoiling what was shown off at PAX from the content update, Those From Below. So if you don't want this spoiled, go ahead and click off the video, give it a like first. But yeah, go ahead and click off the video. No judgment from me. And yeah, I promise when I come back with the next episode, I will not discuss Those From Below or any new information regarding Those From Below. So yeah, you can stay spoiler free and be surprised. But that having been said, I'm going to go ahead and say the spoilers are starting right now. So the demo of Those From Below at PAX showed off a lot of different stuff that I think is very interesting, very impressive, and yeah, I'm really thrilled already at some of the prospects. Probably the first thing that everyone wants to know about is the new boss. So I'll just go ahead and say the new boss is the Siren, and she looks like she's going to be a tremendous pain to deal with, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, it looks like a grueling, gritty encounter. Basically, her gimmick is a little bit like the Hag, but even more diabolical. Whereas with the Hag, she would grab your party and throw her into her cooking pot. Throw one party member into the cooking pot and basically simmer until prepared, like ready to serve. And at that point, yeah, she consumes your party member. They die. No death's door. Well, I mean, that's not exactly right. She'll dump them off at death's door, but considering she gets to take 2 turns around, I mean, we all saw how dear sweet Renauld met his end, and yeah, it basically is kind of one of the, I would say, sort of one of the hallmark encounters of the original Darkest Dungeon release. I mean, it was very intense, very stressful, both as a player and as a character involved in the combat, and it was just, really, really cool. Well, the Siren is similar. She's in a similar vein. What she does is she uses her Siren song and summons one of your party members over to her side. So basically, boop, steals one party member, and that party member goes over and now is fighting against you. So horrifying. Obviously, that means that if somebody dies on the way to the boss fight, you better just scrap it, because there's pretty much no way that you could win like a fair 2-on-2 fight against her. So already that's very interesting, but what I think is even more interesting is the implications that this has for structuring your party in preparation of the boss fight. Whereas I feel like speccing for damage has been sort of I don't know if I would say recurring theme. Actually, I will say that, because it makes me sound smart. It's been sort of a recurring theme basically throughout the original release. Now, there have been a couple of exceptions. Of course, if you recall, at the tail end of the losing streak that I had a couple months ago where we fought the Formless Flesh, I decided to abandon the spec for damage strategy that I had been using in favor of something perhaps, well, that's not good, in favor of something perhaps a little bit more, how do we want to do this? perhaps a little bit more, maybe not novel, but nuanced, and we went pretty hard on damage. And I don't feel like that was a mistake, as you know, history vindicates me. We did actually win that fight. So yeah, I liked the Formless Flesh because it was kind of an interesting spin on the way things had customarily worked in Darkest Dungeon, where how do we want to approach this? Maybe we just bandage. Yeah, it was kind of a nice twist on the way things had customarily worked in Darkest Dungeon, where you know it's kind of a one-on-one fight. In some cases, a boss might have like a familiar or something like that. You know, the Swine King had Wilbur, and you know the Gibbering Prophet had the Pews. The yeah. What else am I thinking of? Oh, well, I mean, the Hag had her cooking pot, and all of those added kind of an additional degree of depth or strategy. But with your own party member at stake, I mean, suddenly there is this very stressful balancing act where you're trying to decide, in some cases, who do you value? Do you value that one party member that was stolen away from you? Do you try and fight, you know, very gingerly to protect that party member's health? Because obviously, if that party member dies in combat, well, you know, that's it. Oh, that sucks. I mean, that's the end of that party member. So, yeah, if you don't want to lose them, obviously AoE starts to go out the window. And if she spawns ads, I'm not sure if she does, but you know, if she spawns ads, well, yeah, then there's something else to consider, right? Because then AoE would be a very nice, it might be a very nice strategy, but it's not going to be the optimal one because it's not something that you can really rely on. How do we want to do this? I think we take the kill. Never mind, we don't take the kill. So, yeah, all this to say, I really love it. Because, yeah, it does put you in this really precarious position where you're fighting a 3-on-2 fight, and you really have to decide, who do you like better? You know, are you going to risk the life of the lives of 3 party members to save 1? It's interesting. But like I said, the implications for this are perhaps what interests me even more. And what do I mean by that? Well, as I said before, there have been only, I would say, a rare few, only a rare few boss fights that I would say truly sort of prioritized a more novel boss fighting strategy than, you know, stack damage, kill fast. You know, something like, I mean, take the, let's see, what am I thinking here? Yeah, take the Acolyte. Is that it? The Necromancer. Acolyte, good grief. Yeah, take the Necromancer fight, for instance. If you don't have damage, you better have AoE. Because, you know, if you can't kill the Necromancer before he spawns a bunch of ads, I mean, you're pretty well screwed. And if you can't, you know, if you can't fight the Necromancer straight up, then you would better have the means to take care of his ads. But basically what it comes down to is either attacking skills or damage. But you must have one of those. You can't, this isn't a fight that you can heal through, because if you're in a 4-on-4 situation against the Necromancer, he is going to beat you. Because the Necromancer has really big, powerful, damaging single and 2-target attacks. It's, yeah, just a very dangerous, I think the Weber is the one we want to take down. Although this, no, let's go for the Weber. So yeah, it's a very, very precarious situation where you Yeah, you have to have some sort of offensive ability to handle. Do we try it? Yeah, I guess we do. That sucks. We have to have some offensive potency to deal with the necromancer, but it does boil down to, like I said, offensive potency. You have to be able to beat him or his ads down, because yeah, you can't win like a drawn out fair fight. It's interesting, it's novel, and yeah, it's just really cool. But yeah, like I said, it all basically boils down to one thing, and that's damage. Okay, who gets it? I want to say maybe our Arbalest, because she has that nifty AoE. So why don't we try that? Beautiful. Oh my jeez Louise, that's so good. So yeah, there's that. What else? What else was there to think about? Well, if you are in a boss fight against if you're in a fight against the Siren, obviously you have to reevaluate your planning, because all of a sudden one of your party members goes out the window and you cannot prepare for which it is. I don't know if retreating is going to be like the hag fight where whoever is in the cauldron, well, tough luck, you left them behind, and so they're dead forever. It wouldn't surprise me if the same thing happened with that Siren fight, where, yeah, if you run away, if you retreat, then, how do we, actually, I'm going to bombard them, and I think I can get all these guys dead here. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there were a situation where if you retreat from the Siren fight, then whoever the Siren tempted over to her side, they're just gone forever. She takes them back to her lair and vivisects them. I don't know. By the way, if you don't know, not a dirty word. Pretty ugly procedure, but vivisects, I'm not getting gross. So yeah, it would seem like that would be a good way to incentivize sort of retreating and coming back until the one, sacrificial lamb or bad party member gets it, right? So I think that has some interesting implications, because what if your grave robber, or sorry, what if your highwayman gets snagged, or your hellion? I mean, now that is a lot of damage that you potentially stand to take, because particularly their AoE attacks, like, could you imagine all three of your party members getting a grape shot blast to the face, potentially a crit from your stolen grave robber? Ugh, that's really, really bad. I think we take her down. So yeah, obviously you don't want to even want to permit that possibility. So what I'm thinking is this: damage might not be the stat to prioritize. Oh no. Damage might not be the stat to prioritize in a Siren fight. Now, I could be wrong. She could have disproportionately low hit points for a boss, and maybe that's like a great strategy, is just trying to blast her down. And, devil may care, consequences be damned, and chips fall where they may. Who cares? You just want to blast her down as fast as you possibly can. But I don't think that's going to be the correct play. I think the correct play is actually going to be... How do I want to put this? I think the correct play is actually going to be trying to spec not for damage, but for the ability to endure. I think it's going to make protection a more interesting stat, because you know the power of some of these characters, like a leper hitting your front two with his two-hitting AoE. That's this is so fast. Let's do another. Mostly, I just want to keep talking, but yeah, I mean, if he hits all of your, ooh, oh, that sucks. But yeah, think about that. Like, you lose two, or sorry, you lose one party member, and then yeah, your leper takes two party, or sorry, yeah, two hitting AOE against the front of your party. I don't think we risk it. All right, let's run a long one. Yeah, that has Ooh, let's go back. Yeah, that carries potentially terrible consequences if they are, yeah, if that's like a crit hit, or if your party is just caught unprepared for that first swing, that could be devastating. So I think, yeah, being able to spec for for defense, dodge, protection, I think that carries a much higher benefit than damage, because you might not want to heap all this damage on top of your, you might not want to heap all this damage on top of your leper, because if he lands a crit hit, that could be 40 health easily down the drain. So instead, yeah, you might want to make sure that the party is able to endure longer, more drawn out combat, but yeah, you want to avoid that burst damage because of how swingy this game can be. One bad crit from Grape Shot Blast, and that's terrible. That is devastating to your party. So yeah, I think that is at least something interesting to consider. Oh, and one other advantage of speccing your party for defense rather than burst damage is that it makes your party member that has been summoned to the other side a bit more hardy. If you spec your leper instead of damage for protection, then it is very unlikely that he's going to take lethal damage, right? It's very unlikely that your jester, if he has really high dodge, then maybe you can risk that attack that might hit him, because you can reliably expect him to dodge out of the way. And that's really useful, and that's something that you obviously would want to that's something that you'd obviously want to consider when you're speccing out your trinkets. The other thing is that fighting the Siren with a party that I think we mark. Yeah, with a party that is down one member is, of course, the constant looming threat. Well, at least it didn't hit a corpse, if only because one was not present. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you would obviously, with your skill loadout, you would really need to consider your party's skills. Can they function in a suboptimal position? If your party gets shuffled, or if everybody gets bumped up one because your leper got taken away, what recourse do you have? Like, what ability do you have to continue fighting from a suboptimal rank? That's something to consider. And similarly, would you be able to, for instance, shuffle your party member who was acting on behalf of the Siren? Would you be able to shuffle that party member into a suboptimal position? Would you leave a dead spot or two in their skills to shuffle them back and just make them pass? it's interesting. So yeah, that's what really stood out to me for the siren fight. I thought, good grief. Um, yeah, I just thought that had some really interesting implications, and I'd like to see that sort of carried to fruition. I never had him lunge, did I? I'm really dumb. See, I got so busy just, yeah, getting high off the smell of my own farts that I didn't even consider that I'm actually playing this game that I'm commenting about. Oopsie daisy. That one's on me, sorry. 100% of room battles. Obviously, well, for the sake of expediency, I'm going to burn the shovel. If it turns out that there's no enemy encounter in this room, well, then I'm the idiot. You guys, I'm going to give you a chance. You should take a walk here, guys. I don't think you want any part of this. So there were some other things that stood out in the new new content update that was demoed at PAX. Obviously, Siren was the one that captured my attention the most. Well, it was a waste. I'm an idiot. I'm really sorry, but I didn't want to tack like 3 minutes onto the end of me just backtracking. Especially considering, we're going to end up like here. So if we have to backtrack all this way, that's a lot of possibility for starvation. I just prioritized the food over the shovels. Maybe that was a mistake. But it's my mistake, and it is my right to make the mistakes I see fit. That's why I make so many of them on such a regular basis. Good grief. Gal, can you chill out just like a little bit, please? Man, I wish I wish Dirkstab had like a bleed or something. Gosh, that is disappointingly weak. Actually, why don't we go full darkness for the next run with this party? I think we'll probably bench them after this and let them tick some of those to see. Ooh. Did I make a mistake? Should I have saved the shovel? I hope not. But yeah, there were some other things shown in the new build that was demoed at PAX. Probably the most interesting thing that I saw were I hate you, dude. Were the game's aesthetics. I have to admit, I'm not like a huge fan of the new monster design, like the new enemy design of fishmen. They're Murlocs. Have you ever played World of Warcraft or like Hearthstone? They're Murlocs. It's Murlocs. And I don't know. Like there were a couple really cool monsters. There's like a really tanky monster that stood in the front row. That is not good. Yeah, there's like a really tanky monster that stood in the front row, had a beefy protection score, something like the skeletal guards, whatever, that tend to be in the front row of these encounters in the ruin. And they look really cool. They're just kind of this bloated, distended, formless sack of flesh, and that looked honestly pretty alright. But the other stuff, sword-wielding fishmen, like evil floating jellyfish and spooky snails, I have to say it didn't really do it for me. It all ultimately comes down to a matter of personal preference, and there may have been some people there who really dug it and thought, hey, that's really awesome. It's kind of a novel or interesting choice, aesthetic choice to kind of get away from creepy cultists and spooky skeletons and all that stuff, and kind of go in a different artistic direction. And I have to say, the Siren looks phenomenal. I mean, she looks like a really frightening, like imposing. If you were thinking of like, you know, a sexy siren from, I don't know, whatever mythology you you may have been exposed to in your schooling or in your own personal edification, I suppose. It's definitely not at all what I was expecting. It was really kind of, yeah, grim and gross and just completely out of left field. And I'm very happy for that particular aesthetic, decision, because it looks really good. And yeah, it looks like a really, really imposing, frightening, dangerous boss fight. So good on them. That looks really cool. I'm really, I was really impressed to see her in action. The thing that kind of concerned me a little bit, was just the overall, well, crap. I think we go ahead and just eat it right now while we're still in a position to take it. Okay. But yeah, really, you know, if you're in a position where the absolute harshest criticism that you have to dole out about a game was the artwork pretty, you know you're on the right track. Because one of the things that did really impress me was the enemy variety. You know, there are a lot of like spellcastery looking enemies in this game, you know, lots of wizards and acolytes and just general magey looking, this is gonna hurt, magey looking bad guys. But yeah, there hasn't really been any like actual spellcasters to speak of. Like the most spellcastery thing that oh my god, they really know how to single her out for stress attacks. Like the single most I think we try it. Okay, great. Wow. Even better than I thought. But yeah, like that's like the extent of the witchcraft in this game, or the spellcasting, is mostly just slinging debuffs or pushing your formation around, which is cool. You know, it's definitely, there's a definite strategic element to it that you have to consider and play around, and I like that. But yeah, there hasn't been really heavy emphasis on sort of the versatility that I think spellcasting enemies can bring to a game. And by that I mean there's a new enemy. It's like a shaman or something, like a fish man shaman, that can heal its own party members. Hallelujah. I mean, obviously I'm horrified at the thought of having to fight this thing, but hallelujah. It is about time that we got a little bit more variety in sort of the enemy, the enemy fighting strategy than swing on your party, just kind of beat them down until there's not but a bloody pulp remaining. But yeah, this is, it's very, very cool. So, ha, very funny. So yeah, now the question is, do you prioritize the damaging enemy? Do you prioritize the healer, who might keep an enemy on its feet for longer than you might be comfortable with? Okay, so we did have to go here anyway. And we do have a shovel in case we need it. But yeah, there's now some decisions that have to be made with your battle strategy. It's not simply a matter of just pound and pound on, prioritizing the most damaging targets, or the most stress damaging targets in some cases. And so yeah, I think anything that adds sort of that additional layer. I think we try and hurt this guy so we can AoE 3 down here. Yeah, anything that can be done to make the battles more strategic and place a higher emphasis on enemy target prioritization, I think is a good thing. I think that has nothing but positive. I think that has nothing but a positive influence on the overall design of the game, and making combat interesting and dynamic, and keeping it from being so keeping it from getting stale. For instance, just thinking about a standard party composition that you tend to see enemy formations come in, where you have tanky guy in front, damage dealer in rank 2, and then a couple of spellcasters or debuffers in ranks 3 and 4. That is subverted now somewhat by, oh my goodness, this is my first time fighting maggots since the big rebalance, at least at apprentice level. No, look at that. No protection. Great. So yeah, immediately I can think of some new interesting design elements or combat elements that kind of emerge from the problem of a healer. For instance, if you're in a really good place with your party, if your health is good, if your stress is good, then you might be in a position where you want to take the enemy healer down first, because maybe what you're trying to do is ensure that you're able to dispatch enemies as quickly as you possibly can. You want to end combat quickly so that there is not there's not really this potential for things to go badly with a big swing, because you couldn't finish off an enemy in 2 rounds because it got a heal when it really needed one. And so yeah, you might want to be like minimizing trying to minimize the length of combat. Similarly, you might also be in a really dangerous position. Your stress is very high, your health is very low, and you just want to get out of battle. I probably should have attacked the front here. That was a mistake. You just want to kind of get the big heavy hitters down as quickly as you possibly can. And who cares about anything else? You just want to make sure that those big beefy damage dealers are done, and you're just going to be focusing them down until they're dead no matter what. So you're not really trying to play efficiently like you might when your health is really high and you have all sorts of resources to throw around. So yeah, I think, let's go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's some interesting decisions there. Similarly, I think if you are kind of I'm sorry, I'll come back for it. I will come back for it. If we make it to the end and things are looking okay, I will come back for it. I need to make some room in the inventory to put their sun rings, but I will come back for it. I promise you, I will come back. Yeah, if you are running, a party with lots of dots, if you're running a party, let's try and just get a kill. Yeah, you're running a party that has a Houndmaster, so your offensive capacity is somewhat low, then yeah, Great. then yeah, you would definitely want to target the yeah, you definitely want to target the healer first, because you would be expecting or trying to win an encounter through through those incremental ticks of dot damage, or you would be expecting to win a battle of attrition on the basis of your high dodge stat. And all of that, like I said, very interesting implications, because it allows different party compositions to approach the same fight very differently. All this stuff is really, really cool, and it must be, because if it weren't cool, wouldn't I have shut up about it by this point? Really? Checkmate. Okay. So this does have the ability to... How do we want to handle this one? I think we still want to avoid the stress as much as we can. I am really scared of what's going to happen if this thing gets a quarrel off and we don't get a dodge. But at this point, how do we do this? Yeah, I say we take a swing. Maybe we can take it down with a 2-hitting AoE in the middle. Well, at least it wasn't a crit. That, actually, a crit would have been devastating. This is... I'll just lay it out there, not going really as ideally as I might have liked it to. But I think we should be fine. I might have actually wanted to uppercut him. Yeah, that would have been an interesting decision. Alright, well I can at least, yeah, get this kill here. And, yes, alright, now this should be academic. Hopefully he doesn't get another swing. He doesn't. Oh. Yeah, he didn't get another swing. This was fine. It was absolutely fine, and I was never concerned or worried. Okay, now this is just rubbing salt in the wound. Now I'm a little upset. I guess I should have gone this way first and left that last room for the end. I have decided that, yeah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. But yeah, ultimately, hopefully it won't cost us. I think the longer I play this game, the less thorough I become. Like, I've kind of got to the point where, like, yeah, I know how this fight's supposed to go, or yeah, I know generally how to do a complete 100% of room battles fight, like, or quest. I got it, right? And overconfidence, man. This game has it nailed down. Overconfidence is indeed a slow and insidious killer. Fortunately, I'm not expecting too much more resistance here. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much more resistance here. Hopefully we can get one of these taken out. Beautiful. And now everything else is in range. I think we do try to get this one. It's going to be close. Yeah. Well, crap. Okay. Well, let's see. Speed of 2, speed of 5, yeah. I think we just have to take this one out. Okay, and now we have a very interesting question. Alright, the answer to that question is yes, we will heal, because, holy lord, we are in a lot of trouble. Or rather, we were. Things are honestly looking fine right now. Do you think we can get a crit? I would say yes. Oh my, how? How did I know? How did I know? So, obviously things are going great here. And we are going to be backtracking, so let's take that. Use that to key, and yeah, nothing for us. Alright, last major fight here. Well, I shouldn't say that. We are going back for the Shambler. I haven't forgotten, much as I would love to use that as an excuse. I have not forgotten. We're going back. We are going to fight the Shambler unless something goes... Really? Huh. Well, we don't need shovels anymore. Unless something goes just hideously wrong in here, I think we're going to be well taken care of and in a perfect position to dish out some justice. Let's see. Let's risk it. Okay, 2 kills, particularly one that we wanted to get from the outset anyway. That's great. This could not be going better. So, I mean, that pretty much seals it, right? We are 100% going back and fighting the Shambler. Alright, cool. That's fine. That's what I signed up for. So, let's take this opportunity now to heal up. That's fine. A little bit of bleed. Won't even affect us. We're fine. Alright, let us see what we have in store. Quest complete. We are going to continue adventuring. However, I will say this. If things go south, we are booking it out of there, because this is going to... We are going to get shuffled to initiate combat. Ooh, almost forgot about you. We are going to get shuffled when we initiate combat, which is going to be a little bit annoying. And... I think we just go after you. Which is going to be annoying because it's going to put our Arbalist in a bad position. Potentially it's going to put our Occultist in a bad position. Our Bounty Hunter is actually quite tolerant of... Oh my god, nice job. Is quite tolerant of those sorts of... Actually, I think we do this. Is quite tolerant of getting shuffled. Basically anything except the back row should be fine. Other than that, what sort of considerations do we need to have? Yes, we need to use our Jester's Dirk Stab to reposition. We need to make sure that we do it efficiently because, yeah, the last thing that we want is to get shuffled around or spend a lot of time sorting our party out, because those ads are going to be coming quickly and we're not exactly primed to deal with them the way we would be if we had, say, a Man-at-Arms. Ah, okay. I remembered. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I remembered what I needed to do. Alright, let's see. Oh, we can also use holy water in the opening round of combat to buff somebody's resistances, which is good because, if I remember right, the Shambler stacks both Blight and Bleed. I know Bleed at least. And maybe the ads use Blight? I don't know. It's been a long time since I fought one, but I feel confident, I feel ready. I just need to make sure that everything is just so. Let's see here. You, and you, and honestly, let's see. Let's just burn one. I have some jitters. I'm not gonna lie, because this represents the first time that we have fought a Shambler. We fought a Shambler since the big update. Okay, 33 protection is not bad, and our Occultist can get back into position quickly. Okay. I think we do move, and that kind of sucks, but I think we're alright. Okay, 77 damage, 33 protection. I think we got this. I think we got this. A big stun would be an amazing way to start it. I love this. Just a nasty eldritch horror from unspeakable depths beyond. Just punch him right in the kisser. There you go. That's how we deal. That's how we deal with eldritch horrors where I'm from. Oh, that was shockingly ineffective. Slice off. And I think at this point we think we forget about... I think we forget about stunning it this round. Instead... Yeah, let's start killing this down. They don't leave a corpse behind. Ah, okay. They don't leave a corpse behind because... I forgot about the stress. That's annoying. Yeah, they don't leave a corpse behind because they need to spawn every round. Although I guess you could just have it, you know, wipe. Wow, that's a lot of protection. You could just have it... Shit. I think we go for it. Yep. I probably should have gone for the kill. That was idiotic. Oh, man. Okay. So, she's going to take this thing down. Hopefully before it clapper claws... Ooh, this is bad. Okay, okay. It only has 1 health. Relax. You're fine. Okay, got the kill. That does leave a corpse. Okay. That's actually fine. And now, I think with the 2 of us, we should be... Yeah, we should be in great shape. Okay! Hey! We did it! It's been a hot minute since we fought one of those... It's been a hot minute since... Oh, we didn't use the holy water. Since we fought one of those... Shamblers, but we did it. That was great. Hey, good job. Kudos all around. That was really good. And we came back home with a pocket full of cash. So, let's see. Are we going to... Replaced flawed release. Oh, good. Actually an improvement. Are we going to go back out? Well, not in this video. It has gone really long. So I do apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed hearing me prattle on about all of the minutia of the those from below. This is going to be my only spoiler-containing episode, so please tune in next time. I'm going to be uploading a video on Friday that is going to be spoiler-free and hopefully a bit shorter as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.